My guy, Eddie House, let's bring him in. Come on, Eddie. So, okay, you're an old guy. You can relate to this.
Don't say that.
OG.
What a way to greet a guy.
OG. I'm OG status now.
What's OG?
Oh, Colin.
Original.
What is it?
Original gangster.
Oh, original gangster. Yeah.
OG. I'm not triple OG status yet. OG.
Yeah, I wear a sweater. I'm just...
Not the OG.
Yeah. OC,
Oh,
Orange
you-
County.
You OG?
Old
On the radio.
grandfather.
You're brutal. Okay, so let's ask this question. Ty Lue leaves. They beat the Raptors twice, and they beat the Pelicans. Now, they had a horrible game down in Miami, but Miami can do that to people. How much value for a LeBron, a Warriors, a veteran team, how much value is there in a coach?
Well, you were saying it earlier. You see that Luke Walton took over, Mike Brown took over. Warriors were still able to click. When you have a veteran team, they pretty much police themselves. I was saying this yesterday on Speak, that you don't have to too much worry. They're going to watch their own film. They're going to manage their body the right way. They're going to make sure they get their shots up. They're going to make sure they're all on the same page talking, knowing this is what we need to be doing in order to win the game. No shenanigans before the game. They're going to be locked in and focused. When you have a younger team, it's a little different. You do have to do a lot more coaching.
Well, I mean, Luke Walton came in, and I heard this. He didn't like D'Angelo Russell and Nick Young. And he was like, listen, they're not pros. They're getting paid, but in the end, he's like, we need more mature players. And what you're saying is when you get the Sixers, and this is no shot at the Lakers or the Sixers players, that coach becomes really valuable. By the way, Brad Stevens as the Celtics rebuild. Yep. That's a really, really valuable coach for veteran teams. Not that Phil Jackson wasn't good, but if Michael and Scotty were playing and engaged.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to get if you have a veteran team, you don't have to get up and call too many plays. Guys are going to be running their own plays. I go back to when I was in Boston. Doc let me run the offense. I was able to make play calls and things like that because he trusts that your veteran player puts in the work and he understands how the game is flowing. We understand a little bit more what's going on the court. It could be totally different from what somebody is watching from the sideline.
Yeah. Is that a little video of Eddie House right here? Look at that. Cranking it up, baby. So I don't buy. There is something. The reason I thought Chris Paul would work with James Harden, I think they're two smart dudes. And I think Chris is a really good defensive player. James is a remarkable offensive player. I thought even though they were guards, the IQ, the styles, it would fit. I don't get these Philadelphia 76ers LeBron rumors. Eddie, you tell me. Ben Simmons and LeBron, I don't see how they work together. Those games are similar to me.
They are very similar. I thought the same thing with Houston, but was proven wrong. Also understand that in Houston, D'Antoni's system, it's going to be spread. People are going to have gaps to drive. And when you have really, really good one-on-one players, they're able to create for other players and get wide open shots. So I think, and to your point, high basketball IQ. They know the game.
They'll figure stuff out.
Yeah, they'll be able to do it. They're OG vets, too.
By the way, Dwayne Wade and LeBron were not a perfect fit.
No.
Smart dudes, veterans, figure it out. Simmons is a kid. LeBron's a superstar. You could have some ego clashes. And by the way, I love Ben Simmons. But if LeBron went to Philadelphia after about 3 weeks of practice, it would be LeBron's team.
Yeah, and I don't think they could play together. They don't mesh because of this. They both need the ball. I'm not sure if Ben Simmons can play off the ball.
Oh, he's not a shooter.
Yeah, so he can't play. He has to make the play, so he's going to dominate the ball and dominate the offense. And we know LeBron's not having that.
So I'm watching Toronto and Boston last night, and it's a mess.
Right.
I mean, DeMar DeRozan, leading scorer for Toronto, was 16. Boston couldn't shoot straight. We don't know how long Kyrie Irving is out. Eddie, here we go again. We freak out about LeBron. John Wall's not at full strength. Embiid could miss playoffs. Kyrie could be out. I wake up this morning, Cavs have won 8 of 9. Eddie, it looks like the Cavs East again. It does to me.
Well, it looked like that at the beginning of the year, too, to everybody else until the Celtics came out on fire. Then the Celtics. Oh, now Toronto might be the guy. As long as this man right here is with the Cavs, I don't think that they're going to get beat. They're going to come out of the East every single year.
You don't buy Toronto?
No, I think they're like the little brother, that you constantly could just beat up. and he's never going to get over the top and get you. That it's a mental thing with them, and you could see it. You could see them kind of shrinking in the moment.
You can.
When they have it, it's like, oh, everything start getting tight. They start forcing things, and LeBron sitting back, got you again. That's why he can't ran by, pounded his chest. He's still here.
When you were in the NBA, was there a team when you were with good Celtic teams, or when you were with good, Miami or Phoenix teams? Was there a team that you just knew you owned? Because LeBron's won 13 of 17 against Toronto. So, Eddie, psychologically, LeBron owns Toronto. He knows he's better. They know he's better. You can, like you said, you can see Toronto, the baby dinosaur, shrink when LeBron comes into town. Was there a team in the league that you always felt that you were on a team and you in the locker room and the fellas knew they would shrink?
Well, that year in Boston, it was pretty much everybody. We knew that there was no team going to beat us in a 7-game series. We knew that. So coming in, we knew that there will be some pushback, but for the most part, we had too much over there. I think our bench was a lot better than people gave us credit for having, with James Posey, being one of the leaders.
That's 2008 when you won.
Yeah, being one of the leaders. That year in Phoenix, we just ran everybody out the gym. We were just like, nobody can shoot with us. Nobody can run with us. So when you on these really good teams, you just have so much confidence. You don't think any team could beat you. You think every team is basically a non-issue for you.
Okay, so your MVP vote. I've never been a huge MVP guy. I'm not an awards guy. I remember years ago I was talking to a baseball player, and I don't want to call out the baseball player, but he said, we were talking about Peter Gammons, and he goes, he's great. He goes, but all these writers, no matter how great they are, we know who can play in this sport. Guys know who can play. And we were just talking about me. I was in the media, and I was saying, I read Peter Gammons a lot. And he goes, I love Peter Gammons. I know Peter, and I'm not going to call it the player. He goes, but, sometimes these writers write, oh, this guy's doing that. He goes, we all know about a third of this sport can't play a lick. So I don't care about awards. I know who can play, and I know who can't. But if you line it up, LeBron and James, who would you vote and why?
I would vote for James because I think winning has something to do with it. Team record has something to do with it. I think it was last year a little different with Russ having a historical season. I think that kind of catapulted him into the league. I mean, a triple-double, we've never seen that.
Right.
So I think that was the difference there. But what's James been able to do all year? His team hasn't been healthy. I think it's only been 42 games that Capella, him and Chris Paul played together, and they're 40-2 in them 42 games. So they haven't played. They haven't had a full season. They haven't been healthy, and he's been able to constantly be the leader of that team. He's playing better defense. The team is playing better all the way around. His numbers are up there. So I have to vote for James. The thing is, since February 1st, LeBron has put that little thought in our head like, hold up, wait up. He might deserve it because the way he's been playing has been unbelievable. But just for that stretch, but I think James been doing it all year.
Eddie House, good seeing you, bud.
For sure.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.